What's up guys, it's Mike here. So a few videos ago, I made you all an offer. I said that if you send me an email letting me know your Fiverr username and some general information about you and what you're trying to sell, I take the time out of my day to review your profiles and your gig and give you some free tips for how you can improve to help you get more buyers and sell more on Fiverr. Well, I obviously had no idea what I was getting myself into. Within an hour of posting that video, I got over 10 submissions of people who are eager for me to review their gigs, their profiles, and giving them some free tips. So thank you all for being engaged and taking the time to submit your information. I now have a lot more videos that I need to record, but that's cool because these videos are going to be super informative and I think really helpful for anyone looking to improve as a seller on Fiverr. So thanks. In just a second, I'm going to get into the review of the first submission. But before I do, consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate it, and it's motivating to me to see that subscriber count keep growing. So thank you. All right, so the Fiverr seller that I'm reviewing today specializes in authentic African voiceovers and writing and transcription gigs on Fiverr. His username is Codjoe, and he's a seller from Ghana. Codjoe's relevant work experience is that he worked as an English teacher for 2 years. That's pretty cool. I also asked everyone who submitted their profiles to include a fun fact about themselves. Codjoe's is pretty intense. So he spent 5 days straight playing video games with no sleep. On the 6th day, he ended up getting admitted into the hospital and spent 3 days sleeping afterwards. This guy's a wild man. So Codjoe, thanks for sharing that. You're crazy, man. All right, so Codjoe, thank you so much for submitting your information. I've taken the time to review your Fiverr profile and your authentic African voiceover gig, and I have some honest feedback for you. And I'll highlight honest. I am gonna point out some things that I think I would change if I were you to help improve your gig and sell better. So we're gonna get into it. I'm gonna review your profile, your gig, your thumbnails, things like that, and give you some tips and best practices that I think will really help. Again, these are all just my opinions, so take from it what you will, but yeah, here we go. All right, so starting with your profile here, I love the profile picture. The suit and the angle of that photo are awesome. You know, it's really sharp and you look like a sharp dude. But I'm already starting to see where I think you might be able to tweak some things here. So in the email you sent to me, you mentioned you were focusing on creating authentic African voiceovers, which is great. And I think voiceovers are a very high-paying industry right now and growing on Fiverr. But your bio reads, "Hello, I'm Codjoe, and I'm a professional writer and proofreader." Okay, but I thought you were a voice actor. Moving down to the description section, same thing. You really don't outline anywhere here that you're a voiceover actor. You know, you mentioned a little bit about communication, planning, and reading, but you don't really mention voiceovers anywhere, and that's a problem if that's one of the gigs that you want to offer and sell on Fiverr. All right, so if I was putting myself into the shoes of a buyer, this would all be a little confusing to me. If I was a buyer looking for a voiceover specialist or an authentic African voiceover specialist, I want to make sure that whoever I'm picking to spend my money on and do this work for me is a specialist, because everyone wants to get their money's worth, right? So the first thing that I'd recommend you modify is your description on your profile page. You know, voiceover and voice acting is a very lucrative space on Fiverr, so you're going to want to make sure that your profile is showing that you are an expert in the space. Right now it's not really doing that, and if you were a buyer looking to get voiceover work done and you found yourself and you clicked through to your profile from your authentic African voiceover gig, your profile wouldn't align with the gig. So that'd be a little bit of a disconnect for me if I was a buyer, and it'd probably lead me to close the tab and go look for someone else who's a little bit more specialized. So if you change that, I definitely think it would help improve the first impression you're making with buyers that find your gig and end up on your profile looking for, you know, some more meat to get confident in actually spending money with you. So the next thing I'm going to go into is the actual gig itself. When I first visited your gig, I noticed that you had a video recording there as a piece of your profile. So I'm going to play that out for everyone to see, and then I have some comments on it that I think will help improve it.
Hello guys, welcome to Codjoe's Gigs right here on Fiverr.com. My name is Codjoe and I am your very special host. Today I've got something truly special for you. Yes, you. For as little as $10 only, I will record my voice for your TV and radio commercials, instructional and training videos, voicemail, audiobook, birthday messages, and anything voice related. My gig will be especially helpful to you if you're targeting an African audience. If you're ready to have me work for you, go right right ahead and hit that order button right now.
First off, Codjoe, I gotta say, you have an amazing voice, man. I can definitely see how someone looking for a voiceover actor or specialist would find your voice appealing because you just have a commanding voice and presence. So I think that you definitely have something there that's marketable and people want to buy. Either, people looking for authentic African accent voiceovers or just general voiceovers. Your voice seems like it can be, used in a variety of different situations. So I think you're definitely marketable and I love that. So good job. The one thing though that kept standing out to me that kind of bothered me and made me think that if I was a buyer, it would probably be a no-go for me is how loud your background audio was in your portfolio piece. If I'm looking for a voiceover specialist or a voice actor, I want to hear their voice in their portfolio. I don't care about background audio. You had some music playing that was actually louder than the clip of your voice. So I think that one small change you could do was just totally remove the background noise. Have your voice front and center. That's what people are hiring you for. You have an authentic sounding voice, you have a really commanding presence, that's what's gonna make you the money. Erase that music, just take it out, put the clip as just your voice, and I think that will go, a long way in improving the impression you're making and really selling your services to prospective buyers. Also, near the end of the video, I heard like a cell phone go off. Make sure that you're re-recording that and making sure that there's nothing in the background, no shuffling of papers and no cell phones. You want to come off as being professional. You want people to know that you have a quiet space that you're going to record their voiceovers in. So consider doing that, and I really think that'd help dramatically increase the impression you're making with buyers who make their way to your gig. Going down to your gig description is fine. I have another video that I put out a while ago that talks about how to tweak your gig and your gig description over time to find what's really working and what'll increase the amount of impressions you're getting. But right now I think it's good enough. I think if you focus on modifying some of the other stuff I'm talking about, hold off on changing your gig description because I think that updating your portfolio and your profile are going to do way more than tweaking the description, and I kind of like how it is. It's straightforward and to the point right now. Also, one quick thing is maybe consider creating a gig thumbnail that's actually a static thumbnail that people can see in Fiverr search that is informative and explains the scope of your services. Right now you just have your portfolio video and then a picture of you standing beside a car in a driveway, which I think is great. But I think if you were to really want to optimize this gig, create a thumbnail that's descriptive of what the gig entails. What is it? What do you do? And use that as your first image. I just posted a video on how to do that using Canva. I'll put the link somewhere in the description or the video. Check that out. It's really quick and easy to do. That should be your first image. The second should be your portfolio video, your modified portfolio video. Re-record it, make sure there's no distraction, and eliminate that background music. It's annoying and covers up your awesome voice. And third, include the picture of you in the car. You're looking pretty slick and it can't help. So I think those three things for the thumbnails will also go a long way and you should consider tweaking. And lastly, this is just a really small one, but your gig title is I will create an authentic African voice over anything. I don't know what the anything is doing there at the end of that title. And for me, titles that are short and to the point are best. Less is more, because that's where Fiverr's taking all the keywords and using to assign your gig in the search when people are searching for stuff. So having anything at the end, I get what you're trying to do, saying that you're versatile, but in the title, it just needs to be quick and to the point, so when someone sees it, they know exactly what you do. So I'd consider removing that last word. Again, that's totally up to you. Otherwise, it's pretty solid. Anyways, Codjoe, thank you for your submission, and I definitely think you have something here. You got a really marketable voice, and I think these are a couple really quick tips that can help you increase the number of people who are actually clicking through to your gig, and then once they get there and they hear your awesome voice on a newly recorded portfolio piece that has no distractions in it, it's going to be a no-brainer for whether or not they should hire you. So yeah, thanks for watching. I hope these tips are helpful to you and anyone else watching. And consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. I have a bunch of these type of Fiverr profile reviews lined up. I've been getting a lot of interest. So just stay tuned if you made a submission. I'm going to be scattering them in throughout my normal release schedule, and hopefully your video will make it to the channel and I help you improve. So thanks again. Cheers.